I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am more excited, I think, than I've been for my other lives. And I love everybody I've gone live with, but I've been a fangirl of Valerie Stunning's for well over 2 years. So the fact that I get to practice a little bit of yoga with her today is everything for my heart. So I hope you guys are as excited about that as me. Hey, there she is right there. Shall we?
Oh, hey, Kayla.
Hi,
Hello, gorgeous.
how are you?
I'm doing so much better now that I'm doing yoga with you.
I'm excited.
And can I have you flip this way just for now? The other way just.
yeah, hang on one second. How's
Wow. Whoa,
Thank you.
baby. Hello, gorgeous. How are you doing?
I'm good. I feel good. Am I too far away? Like, how far
No.
do you need me?
This is actually perfect. I think that one of the issues we've been running into is the camera has been too close. So this is perfect so everyone will actually be able to see you practice. When we start practicing, I'm going to be way over there. So.
Okay, perfect.
So for anybody who doesn't know who you are, please give a quick introduction. I'm fangirling right now. I'm like, so a quick introduction for who you are for anybody who doesn't know.
Hi, everybody who's joining us. I'm Valerie Stunning. I am the head creamstress and founder of Paradise City Creamery, a semi-retired stripper, writer, all-around lover of talking shit and drinking tequila.
Ow, ow, ow. So I want to talk a little bit more about Paradise City Creamery because any fucking badass stripper babe who uses her body to seed fund her own business is a boss to me. So I want to hear, and I haven't got to try the ice cream yet. I was hoping when I was out there for International Horse Day, I was going to get to try some, but I didn't get to. Can you talk to me a little bit more about it, some of your flavors? What's going on with it?
Okay, so Paradise City Creamery is a culmination of all the things that I love in life. And we basically are an adult experiential ice cream company. So it's this hybrid of this hobby I had for years, mixed with my love of strippers and sex workers and celebrating everything that's indulgent in Las Vegas and the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Are you from Vegas originally?
I'm not. No, I was born in New York and raised in Jersey.
Nice. Did you end up in Vegas to start shipping?
Yes, mostly. I was like living on the road for a long time and then needed a closet and a couch. And I was like, well, where does a stripper go to do that? Vegas. Yes.
So you were already stripping before you came to Vegas. So were you, and you said you were living on the, you said you were living on the road. Were you doing traveling dancing then? Travel dancing?
Yep.
Yay. What are some of your favorite cities that you ended up in? I love travel dancing. I'm always going to ask.
Let's see. Well, I started in Australia, so that's where my first stripper job ever was in Sydney.
Were you the hot American girl? I've always been curious about dancing in Australia because the same way like Australians, they're the hot Australian girls. Like, are we the hot American girls or do they like hate our accent? What's the deal?
In my own mind, I was. I think I was more like the awkward baby stripper who was like wearing too many clothes and busting out too many flash dance moves.
You mean the layered like multiple thongs with the ties on the side? You mean
Girl,
it wasn't?
I had that outfit.
I know you did.
Secret, 2011. All right.
Say less. I already know you did. So you said semi-retired. Explain that a little bit more to me. Yeah, I'm still here.
You there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Somebody was calling me.
No worries. You had said that you are a semi-retired stripper. Talk to me a little bit more. What does that mean?
Well, I feel like I never want to say I'm officially retired because when I'm 60, I want to be celebrating my 60th birthday in my fucking clear pleasers. They're probably going to be a lot shorter than they were. And having all my favorite people rain on me still. I go to the club way less than I did about a year ago because I'm running Paradise City Creamery full time now, and it's my main focus. It's my baby, and we're doing a lot of big things, and we have a lot of great things post pandemic on the cusp for us. So you guys
are basically like spotlighting in different restaurants. Is kind of like what the deal is. How's it working? How do I get to eat some? I need some.
Okay, so right now what we're doing, there we go. Right now what we were doing before everything kicked in is we were really focusing on events and pop-ups, and we were just starting to sign on with a few different restaurants in Vegas to get on their menus. So that's pretty exciting, and those are all things that I'll pick back up once everything's normal again. But right now we were able to, gratefully, we were able to transition to packaged goods and doing curbside pickup and contact service with everything going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're being hosted at one of our local favorite wine bars, and they sell wine and they pair wine with our ice cream flavors.
Oh God, it just sounds like heaven on earth.
It's amazing.
So speaking of these quarantine times, and I know for a lot of us, I feel like a lot of us were moving and shaking and getting stuff going, and this instantly, it's just like it was a stop. What are you dealing with the emotions of that? How are you kind of like how are you handling that personally, just for yourself?
Well, to be perfectly honest, at first, I did what I normally do when things are intense and I'm trying to hang on, text message, sorry about that. When things are intense, I tend to bury myself in work and go, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm too focused. I'm too busy, blah, blah, blah. And then things got really serious. And I was like, oh, shit, it's not about me. I need to really give myself time and have compassion and take this moment to feel fucking sad and bummed and worried and all of that. So I did. I spent the past couple of weeks really just allowing myself to feel those emotions. And I woke up a couple of days ago, basically on the full moon, and I was like, all right, it's time to burn some shit, let it go, and figure out what the fuck is next. And I was okay. Yeah.
So something I did for myself this last year was I hired an assistant, which is I'm not good at any kind of administrative work or anything, but something she has to deal with is my highs and my lows, and kind of introducing somebody to what that means, somebody who doesn't experience those things. And so coming to this quarantine, I've been feeling those heavy feelings too. And it's really easy for me to pop on for an hour and put on my yoga teacher mask, you know what I mean? But I definitely, when I'm not here, I'm feeling sad. But I kind of had the same thing too, where just yesterday I was feeling heavy, but not in a bad way. It was just an emotional, good, yummy day. And then today I woke up and I sent my assistant a Snapchat, and I was just I just want you to know I'm grateful to be alive today. And it just does kind of, and it's a roller coaster for sure. But do you have anything that you're doing in particular? I know that you practice yoga already, right? That's kind of what I was getting based on our conversation via Messenger.
Yeah, so I definitely have some experience with yoga, but I have an interesting split with it, if that's a way to phrase it. So I've been dabbling in yoga since my early 20s. And then in my late 20s, after I just moved to Vegas, I had the pleasure of meeting one of my very best friends, who is a former stripper, and she's the world's tallest contortionist, and she's an insanely talented flexibility coach. So I kind of stopped I basically stopped with yoga. I wasn't super deep into it, but I knew I liked to stretch, and I started focusing more on flexibility just for the practice of doing the thing versus the connection of the spirituality with it. And I have my own spiritual practices, so it's not that was totally obsolete. But yeah, I spent a lot of time stretching and really training my body to do incredible things with her. And at that time, I was a showgirl. I was doing burlesque, so it was super in line with my life. And that's why I know some of the terminology.
What's this person's name? What is this? The tallest contortionist in the world? You piqued my interest. Who is this, and how do I follow them?
Amazon Italian woman. Her name is Sofia Benenzati, and
I can find her on here under that.
Yeah, on Instagram she's One Fitness Rebel.
Okay,
or I gotta Rebel Fitness. I think it's either of those. I'll send it. I call
it a tall girls club. I'm only 5'10", so I imagine she's much taller than me. But I feel like all tall girls, there's a camaraderie amongst us, always being bigger than everybody, So I love other tall women. Well, I'm excited today. You had mentioned to me that you deal with some lower back pain, which I can relate to. I'm sure every single girl who's been dancing for more than 4 years can relate to. We started around the same time. I'm 2010, you're 2011, right?
Yep.
I love us old. Let's grandma strippers at this point.
Oh my God, I'm a proud vet, okay?
But dude, I was literally I was telling someone, I'm like, I don't even know how I became a stripper mom, but like one day you're like normal stripper, then you're like stripper aunt, and then one day you're just like, they're like stripper mom, and I'm like, how did I get into this position?
Right.
But we're
I
gonna
love
do
it,
so
though. I
today.
feel good as stripper mom. I'm happy to accept that role.
It's just more.
Okay.
I'm happy with it too. I just have no clue how we ended up here. I'm like, I'm still a baby, and everyone's like, no, you're almost 30, Jessica, and you've been stripping for a decade. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, when you yes, you're gonna like okay, so you're already like pretty much a bet stripper mom. But once you're in your 30s, I'm 35, right? And I've made the most money I've ever made.
I believe it. I hear the
Girl,
next 4 years are my golden years. I hear like
love it.
somebody, I can't remember who I was speaking to, but it was on these slides. Oh, it was Survive the Club. She told me, she asked me how old I was. I told her 28. She's like, you're about to have the best 4 years of your life. I'm like, bring it. But so today we're going to work on quite a bit of strengthening the muscles around the back as well as in the core. And then we'll get into some yummy, nice like glute stretches and stuff to stretch out that same space that we're going to work on stretching. Does that sound great?
Yes. Oh, wait. Men love mature women. Kibbles and tits. Yeah, sure do. Mommy complex. Bring it.
So we're going to start today laying on our mats. And if you have trouble hearing me or seeing me at any point, just let me know, okay? I'm big on verbal cues, so you won't have to watch me too much. Valerie, I meant to ask you sooner. Do you by chance have a yoga block? Because if you do, we'll do...
Yeah, I have two. Hang on. If you could just hold tight for a minute,
Yeah.
I can go grab them.
Yeah, just one would be great. Yeah, we'll work with it for something.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So we're going to start something off today with just like a little restorative pose as opposed to my normal on the back, just because I figured she might have a yoga block based on the way she was talking about yoga. So if you have a yoga block, you can use this, but if not, it's not going to be a big deal. You'll still be able to do something similar to what we're doing. It just might not be as yummy as with the block. But another option would be like a throw pillow or something similarly shaped that can support your hips lifting slightly. So it's working on getting our hips a little bit above our heart at this point. Well, I'm super excited. I see a lot of familiar names in here. Barfney, Bunny Bay May, got my Leslie. Hi, guys. Hello. So how many of you guys have been practicing with us? How many of you guys didn't even know that we existed? For those of you who don't know, we've been hopping on live every single day at 3 p.m. with a different badass Insta stripper. I've been a big fangirl of Valerie Stunning's for like 2+ years, so I'm super like excited and a little bit baby nervous to be practicing with her. So I'm ready for the yoga vibes to just take over. Yay! Hey, kibbles and tits. Oh, I accidentally flipped you guys. Sorry. So what's cool about today's practice is all the practices we've been doing are very all levels friendly. For those of you guys who don't know what Strippa yoga is yoga catering to the unique needs of strippers. And that means that we focus specifically on some of the things that we need due to the wear and tear that we experience from our job. So today specifically, we're going to be dealing with how strippers, the back arch and all the pressure we put on our lower back. We're going to work on correcting that, creating some space around the spine and then the abs. Yeah, I'm excited. How are we doing on time? Perfect timing too. Awesome. Well, I needed this too. Do you guys got your yoga mats and everything ready to go? If you don't have a yoga mat, just throw a blanket on the ground. It's no big deal. Don't let that stop you from practicing. And I'm super excited. So tomorrow, do any of you guys know what Soldiers of Pole is? It is an organization that helps dancers in different states create workers' unions. And we have one of the starters of Soldiers of Pole, Antonia Crane, coming on tomorrow. And then Saturday, we have Jack the Stripper, hey, Valerie's best friend. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hi. So we're going to start on our backs today. And we're going to start in a supported bridge. So the block is going to be on the lowest setting, flat, wide. We're going to bring the bottom of our feet to the ground, feet about hip width distance, and then really gently we're going to press into the bottom of our feet, lifting the hips. And we're just going to slide that block right underneath our hips. Yeah. So it's going to be right about where the lower back meets the hip creases. Should feel pretty good, pretty even. And once you find that kind of sweet spot around the tailbone, you're just going to release your arms either down by your sides, palms facing up, or you can bring them up over your head, creating like a Rockefeller signs with the fingers and letting the elbows open up into a diamond shape. We're just going to breathe, keep the feet on the ground, knees up to the sky, and then we're going to slowly just close the eyes. This is a supported bridge pose.
Am I doing that right?
Yeah. How does your tailbone's resting on the block, right?
Yeah. Wait, should the block be lower?
Let me see.
I have it right here.
Yeah, bring it lower.
Here.
Right there. Nice.
Yeah.
How does that feel? A little bit more supported, a little less pain in the lower back?
Yeah, feels great.
And then you just keep the feet on the ground, knees up to the sky. Let the shoulders relax, and then as you're ready, shut down the eyes.
And as I'm ready, do what?
Shut down the eyes.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, the first few moments of this practice are just about slowing down. We're starting to let our day fade away. And we are making a conscious choice to dedicate this next hour to our well-being, our body, our growth. We start to notice the thoughts that come up in our mind, acknowledging them for what they are, just a thought, nothing that is needed right here, right now. And so we let them go. And as our mind starts to slow down, we find it easier to begin to notice how our body feels today. Choosing not to judge ourselves as good or bad, just noticing areas that feel really open and strong, but also areas that feel a little tighter, more fatigued. And as you begin to notice the body a bit more, you find it easier to notice the sensations of your breath. Inhales are cool in the nostrils, and exhales give a little tickle around the lips. Not needing to change the breath, but for a few moments, just pay attention to those sensations. And with an inhale, we're going to fill up the lungs, top of the breath. Pause. And then open mouth, exhale, slowly let it go. Nice. Let's do that again. Inhale, fill up the lungs. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. I'm going to do one more cleansing breath. Inhale. And as slow as you can, open mouth, gently let the breath go. And as you do, begin to tighten the core in and up, pushing out more air than you think you can. Let's keep the core tight. Inhale through the nose, just the lungs fill up. And exhale through the nose, nice and slow, lips stay sealed. And we tighten the core even more. Keep breathing like that. Long inhales through the nose. And slow exhales through the nose. And we're going to gently begin to bring the arms down by our sides, wiggling out the fingertips, rolling out the wrists. And when you're ready, we're going to press into the feet. We're going to gently lift the hips, tighten the glutes as you do. Then we're going to slowly just remove that block off to the side, lowering hips back down to the ground. Walk the feet out. Hell yeah. Walk the feet out the width of your mat, so as wide as the edges of your mat, and then let your knees fall together. One hand to the heart, one hand to the stomach.
Wait, did I do it right? Nope.
Knees together, feet wide. There you go, perfect. And this is just helping release that lower back a little bit more. We're going to walk the feet together. And nice and easy, we're going to bring the right knee into our chest. And we're going to either keep the bottom of this left foot on the ground if this feels better for you, or extend that left leg long. Nice. From here, pull your right knee outside of your torso slightly. Everybody's hip's different, so the width of that will be dependent on your body. And then pull your right knee towards your right shoulder outside of the torso. It's called wind releasing pose. You can keep holding on with that hand, but I like to bring my right knee to my right elbow crease and then take my left hand and grab for my right wrist, just helping to squeeze that knee into my shoulder a little more. Nice, that looks great. Yeah, take big breaths here, expand your belly. And as you exhale, tighten your core, pull that knee in a little tighter. Nice. Let's rotate our ankle on the right foot to the right 3 times. As slow or as fast as feels good for you. Then we're going to rotate it to the left. Same thing 3 times, as fast or as slow as feels good for you.
I love doing these.
Yes.
Those spins are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I crack a lot too. Do you crack a lot?
Oh, I'm a pop snackle crack type of girl, especially when I just jump into a balancing pose for fun. Well, my body's all crack, crack. I scare people around me. I'm like, it's just a stripper thing, I promise.
Right? I actually worry when I don't crack as much.
I'm like, where's the pop? Where's the sensation?
Right.
Let's interlace. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said it's rewarding.
Yeah. Let's interlace our hands behind our right thigh. And let's extend our right heel up towards the sky. Now, your arms should be straight and strong here. Press your thigh into your hands. Keep your hands on the thigh for a moment. Yeah. Now, press your leg into your hands and then flex your right toes towards your face. Nice. Now, you're going to press your right hip forward towards your left toes slightly. Stay here. Suck your shoulders onto the mat. Now, I know you're very flexible, so let me ask, are you getting sensation in your right thigh here at all? Pressing your knee forward?
Am I doing it right?
Yeah, it looks great. It's just a gentle, this is not like a normal, like big sensation thing. But if you're like me, we have to work a little bit harder in the shape. So I always try to do it muscularly first. So I'm pressing my leg into my hands. I'm reaching my heel up to the sky. I'm pressing my toes towards my face, and I'm sucking my shoulders back. If you're not feeling that gentle stretch in the back of the right leg, we're just going to walk the hands up to the calf. Nothing changes. Our arms stay straight and strong. We keep pressing our knee forward, and then we suck our shoulders back, and then you should get some sensation there.
Yeah, that feels good.
Yay. Let's take 3 slow breaths here. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of lower back pain actually comes from tight hamstrings and tight glutes. And a lot of us girls have those because we're squatting nonstop, lunging nonstop in 7-inch heels. So we have really strong hamstrings and quads and glutes.
Mm-hmm. All the glutes.
Mm-hmm. Let's gently bend that knee back into the chest. We're going to set that right foot down to the ground. We're going to bring the left foot to the ground next to the right, and we're just going to pause here for a moment. Noticing if you've created any space in that right leg or hip already.
Oh, yeah, I feel it in the hip.
Yay. And from here, we're going to switch sides. The left knee is going to come in this time. Again, you have the option. If you have, for some of us who do have really bad lower back pain, just keeping that right foot on the ground can really feel good, and we can still do all of this. But if it feels okay, I'm going to recommend extending that right leg long. Again, we pull that left knee outside of the torso and towards our left shoulder. You can stay here, hands on the knee, but it's a little easier for me personally if I bring my left elbow crease around that knee, take my right hand and grab for my left wrist. Good. And then we're going to inhale, expand the belly here.
I also feel like I'm way more flexible on one side of my body than the other.
Very, very normal. And a lot of that is because we use one side more. And even like in stretching like this, something I've noticed in a lot of yoga classes is a lot of teachers will do everything to the right first, and then they hold that side longer because they're walking people through the pose more and stuff. And on the left side, it doesn't get held as much. So a lot of people continue getting more open on the right and tighter on the left. And that could be, or it could be something like doing the splits always to the same side, or doing a pole trick always to the same side, or a lap dance trick always to the same side. So, and And that manifests in different ways for people outside of the industry, obviously. But for us in the industry, that's some of the biggest reasons it happens.
And then when you try to switch it, though, it feels so awkward.
Yes, we got to fight through the awkwardness. We have to. Oh my gosh, I feel you though. Let's take just a few more moments here. Let's rotate that ankle to the left 3 times. And then to the right. And then as you're ready, same thing here. We're going to interlace our hands behind our left thigh. We'll start with the hands on the thigh first, extending left heel up towards the sky, flexing those toes towards the face, pressing leg into the hands, sucking shoulders back simultaneously, making a choice to stay here or walking the hands up to the calf. But if you walk the hands up to the calf, make sure you're not pulling with your arms still. You're still pressing the back of your knee forward and reaching your heel up. Hell yeah. We'll take about 5 slow breaths here. And in yoga, we talk about our breath a lot. And I feel like at some point to a lot of people, it can just sound like hippie garbage. But there's a lot of reasons we do it. And one of my favorites in this practice is it can be used as an anchor to keep your mind present. So when I'm focused on that cool sensation and my inhales and that tickle on the lips of my exhale, my mind isn't thinking, fuck, this pose hurts. Oh my God, I'm going to eat tacos later. My cat's so cute or whatever. It's just thinking about what's happening right now. Let's bend our left knee, bring it back into the chest. We're setting left foot next to right. We're setting left foot on the ground, and we're bringing right foot next to left, excuse me. We're just going to pause here again, walk the feet out as wide as the mat, let the knees fall together. One hand to the heart, one hand to the stomach, and breathe. And as you're ready, we're going to walk the feet together. We're going to pull both knees into the chest. We're going to squeeze the knees down towards the shoulders as we press the tailbone down into the ground. The knees might come a little wider than the torso. Stay here, or you can rock side to side across your lower back, giving yourself a little lower back massage.
Yeah, this one I feel a lot, especially from standing in the kitchen.
Yes. And how often are you making your ice cream every single day?
No, I'm physically making the ice cream like 2 to 3 times a week, but it's like kitchens are not forgiving. Most commercial kitchens are like cement floors.
I bring a chair on them. I bring a chair and I sit when I cook.
Yeah, it's smart. Like, there's some things we can do when it comes to like the decorative process, but mostly like making the ice cream requires me to stand.
Yeah. Let's begin to move out of this shape. Begin to rock yourself forwards, backwards, the length of your mat until eventually you come to a comfortable seat. Yeah. And we can turn to face towards each other for just a little bit here. A comfortable cross-legged seat can be really, really yummy. Or if you helps you to step a little bit taller, sitting back on your calves can be really, really nice too. So it's yogi's choice, whatever feels better. We're just gonna, whatever feels better. I like it this way. So my shoulders are stacked above my hips. My head is stacked right above my shoulders. My hips are sinking into my heels. I'm sitting up tall. I'm going to inhale, both hands up to the sky, big stretch, shoulders stay relaxed. I'm going to interlace my hands up above my head. I'm going to press my palms up towards the sky. Nice. From here, I'm going to drop my hands to the back of my head, fingers still interlaced. I'm going to press my elbows out to the side, but I'm going to pause here. So we talked about, so a big reason for the lower back thing is that overarching when we're dancing. So right now and throughout this practice, we're going to really work to correct that. So if you're back bending here, your ribs are poking out. I want you to imagine a zipper down the ribs, and you're zipping the ribs up, bringing them together. Now, if that makes your shoulders roll forward, you're just going to pull them onto your back and then press your head into your hands a little more. Nice. Now stay here, elbows out to the side. We're going to take a big inhale, reach the top of your head up. And as you exhale, press the head into the hands, look up slightly if it feels okay. As much as feels good. Again, avoiding that back bend.
That's hard.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Let's
like
inhale.
Everything you just want to stick your ass out.
Girl, wait until we get to chair pose in a second. We're going to bring the head back to center, and then we're going to release the fingertips down to the sides. Nice. So an upside down V shape from the fingertips to the top of the head. We're going to inhale our right hand up to the sky, palm facing in, and then we're going to drop our right hand on top of our head. Now my left fingertips are moving out to the left still. I'm going to guide, not pull, my right ear towards my right shoulder. Nice. Now walk your left fingertips off to the left a little bit more until your fingertips hover about an inch above the ground. Nice. You should feel this down the left side of that arm, maybe even into the fingertips. Nice. Now flip your left palm up to the sky, and as you do, I want you to notice how that changes the sensations. And I want you to keep that in mind throughout the rest of practice, because I'm a big alignment nut, but the reason I am is because even a small little tweak or movement in the wrong way can really change sensations and switch things up.
Okay.
We're going to flip our left palm towards the ground. We're going to set our left hand down, and we're going to guide our head back to center. Then we're going to set our right hand down. Then we're just going to switch sides. Left hand up. Left hand comes to the head. We guide the left ear towards the left shoulder. Guide, not pull. Begin to walk the fingers off to the right. Maybe they hover an inch. And if it felt good on the other side, flip the right palm up to the sky on this side. And we'll gently flip that right palm back down. We'll set the right hand down. We'll guide the head back to center. We'll set our left hand down. Woo. Nice. How you feeling so far? Yay! That's my favorite, is that warm sensation of blood just moving into the space we create. We're going to shift our weight into a tabletop hands and knees position. So one of the best things you could do for yourself as somebody with lower back pain is simple cats and cows. You don't have to be warmed up. You can do that. They take 3 minutes if at most, if you want them to, So in our tabletop shape, our wrists are underneath our shoulders. Our knees are underneath our hips. Instead of relaxing the belly down towards the ground and the chest towards the ground, I bring the belly button towards the spine. I press into the ground so my back is nice and flat. From here, then I will consciously inhale, drop my belly, lift my head, and pull my shoulders back. This is called cow pose. And then as I exhale, I'm going to round my spine, drop my head, and press the ground away, cat pose. We're going to keep moving like that. Inhale is going to lift the head, drop the shoulders, and pull. Lift the head, pull the shoulders back. Gorgeous. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head, press the ground away. Push your lower back higher to the sky. Nice. Let's do that 3 more times on your own. Nice. And then exhales round. And for these last 2 breaths, if it would feel good to add some wiggling in the hips or the neck, I want you to feel comfortable doing that. Just exploring the spine. Yeah.
That's good.
Hell yeah. And then as you're ready, we're coming back to that nice, strong tabletop shape. We're going to set up for just a little bit of core work here. And then shortly after this, we're going to take it to the ground and start working on that strengthening around the back. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Hell yeah. So we're in this tabletop shape. We're going to tuck just our left toes. So when we tuck our toes, that means to bring them to face towards our knee. Our right foot is still untucked. That means the top of our foot presses into the ground. I'm going to keep my left foot on the ground, but I'm going to extend my left leg long behind me.
Okay, so right toes down. Actually, I think I need to slide over or I'm going to kick my chair.
Yeah, yeah. Left toes tucked. The right foot hasn't changed at all. We extend that left leg long behind us. Our left toes are still on the ground. Yay, beautiful. That looks great. Now, before we go any further, make sure your belly button's moving towards your spine, your core is engaged, and your left hip isn't jumping up above your right. It's still in line with your right, squared with the ground. From here, our gaze is about a foot in front of us on our mat. We're going to begin to reach our right fingertips forward. Right thumb points up and the bicep is by our ear. Again, we're avoiding, reach the right fingertips forward. You got this.
Oh, like here.
Yep. Zip up your ribs even here. Gaze is about a foot in front of you on the floor, so long back of the neck. Hell yeah. Now lift those right fingertips a little higher. You'll feel this in that shoulder, but keep your gaze down, long back of the neck. Now stay here, Valerie, or engage your left glute and lift your left heel off of the floor so your heel is in line with your glute. Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Take a big inhale. Exhale, set your hand down, set your knee down. Coming back to tabletop. Yeah, balancing can be hard in this one. And if somebody said this makes their knees hurt, if that's happening to you, place a blanket under your knees, please. We are very mean to our knees in the club. We don't need to be mean to our knees during yoga.
Real. Oh my God, I have so much discoloration on my knees from stripping.
Oh my God.
Wild.
Those are my badges of honor, bitch.
I earned those discolorations.
I earned these motherfucking knees. This is 10 years in this bitch.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to switch sides. We're going to tuck our right toes. We're going to extend our right leg long this time. The hips are even. We're going to reach our left fingertips forward this time. Left bicep in line with the ear. Now, big things you're going to be tempted to do is drop that left hand down. I want it in line with, if not above, that left shoulder slightly. The ribs are zipped up. I'm looking slightly forward of my right hand on the floor. So the back of my neck is long. This is a great place to stay. If you're pressing your head forward, pressing your right heel back, you're going to get core work here. Especially if you have trouble balancing, you can stay here. If you want to take it a step further, we'll engage our right glute. We'll lift our right heel up in line with our right hip. Now make sure your right toes are still pointing down. You're pressing out through that heel, reaching out through the left fingers. And then with an exhale, we'll gently set the hand down, set the knee down. Woo. Nice. So when you arrive, let's find a few more cats and cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head. Nice. And then as you're ready, let's sit back on our calves for just a moment. How are your wrists feeling so far, Valerie?
How are my wrists?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, they're good. You know, I do like abbreviated push-ups a lot.
Oh,
so
nice.
I feel like I have really good like wrist, shoulder strength, but
Hell yeah. Cool.
Good.
Nice. Well, let's make our way to the back of our mat then. A tabletop position, but the toes touch the back edge of your mat because we're going to need some space in front of us. So we're in a tabletop shape. My hips are above my knees. My hips are not going to shift forward and they're not going to shift back. They're going to stay right where they're at. I'm going to keep the top of my feet pressing down as I start to walk my hands forward one at a time. Yeah. Don't let the hips move. Yeah. When you can't walk your hands any farther forward without the hips following you, bring your forehead to the mat. Pause here. Reach the crown of your head a little closer to your hands. The forehead stays on the mat. And then soften the space between your shoulders as your chest melts towards the ground. If this feels really good and you can go for a little more sensation, bring your chin to the mat and look forward in between your hands. If you're still needing sensation, we're going to come to the fingertips so the hands are like little cupcakes, and then we're going to relax the chin back down to the ground. The feet are not lifting here. Is this okay for you?
Yeah, this is great.
Let's take 2 more slow breaths. One more big inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to continue to crawl forward, coming to our stomachs.
Like go down.
Yeah, perfect. When you arrive, you can shake out the hips a little bit, roll out the shoulders, whatever feels good. And then as you're ready, we're setting up for a Sphinx pose. So you're already pretty much in it. The legs are going to come straight out behind you. The forearms are on the ground in front of you. The elbows are right below the shoulders. You're going to consciously make a choice to roll your shoulders onto your back and towards each other. From here, keep your gaze straight forward. Press your forearms into the ground. Press your palms into the ground. This is going to lift the top of your head a little higher. Now, keep all of that the same, but tuck your chin just 1 inch. So bring your chin closer to your chest, just 1 inch. Now, keep your chin slightly tucked and then push the back of your head closer to your heels. What?
Oh my
You're going to you'll feel that nice stretch from your pelvic bone all the way to the space between your collarbones, to the whole front edge of the body. And then as you're ready, look where your elbows are. Bring your hands to where your elbows are. Relax your chest to the ground. Relax your chin to the ground. Yes. Pause for a moment. We're going to get into our back strengthening now. If at any point something is bugging you, just let me know and we'll find an alternative.
Sounds good.
Our hands are by our chest. Our elbows are up to the sky. The top of our feet are pressing into the floor. Our tailbone presses towards the ground. Our core is engaged, and even our quads are slightly engaged, so our knees lift. Keep everything as it is. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Rather than looking forward, keep the back of your neck long and parallel with the ground. And then with an inhale, we're going to use the strength of our back to lift our head, lift our shoulders. No weight in the hands here.
Should my face be down?
No, lift the head, lift the shoulders.
Okay, like this?
Yeah. Yeah, tuck your chin mildly. So your gaze is slightly down, yeah. And then use the strength of your back just to lift the head, lift the shoulders. There it is. Beautiful. That looks great. And then an exhale, you gently release. Bring your right cheek to the mat, look to the left. Yeah. And that was one of the ones that you told me is one that is lifting up a little higher is kind of a struggle for you right now, right?
Yeah, I could probably go a little bit higher.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have another opportunity right now, so it'll be perfect.
Okay, cool.
So we'll rest for a second, right cheek on the mat, looking to the left, because we're gonna do a few back strengthening things right now. So I like to do it in steps. As you're ready, we're gonna bring our chin to the mat. We're gonna look forward again. Our hands are by the chest, the feet press down, the tailbone presses down, the glutes are engaged, the core is engaged. Same thing with an inhale, no weight in the hands. We pull the shoulders onto the back. We lift the back of the head. We lift the shoulders. Now, you asked if your gaze is down. Your gaze is not down, but it's also not forward. We want the back of our neck long. And then instead of thinking of lifting your chin up, we think of lifting the back of our head a little higher.
I see. Okay.
Nice. Option to stay right here, or we're going to press the tailbone down as we engage the glutes to lift the feet behind us. Our legs are going to stay straight and strong.
Like that?
I'm coming. Yeah, beautiful. And then with an exhale, we gently release. Opposite cheek to the ground, looking to the opposite direction. How did that one feel? Okay?
Yeah, that felt great, actually.
Oh, yeah. Drop your hands down by your sides, palms facing down. You can shake the hips back and forth a little here if that feels good. Which cheek is on the mat right now, just so I know which one's your right and which one's your left?
My left one.
Okay, cool. And gently bring the chin back to center, but keep the arms where they're at. So we're on the ground. Our hands are by our hips, palms facing down. We're going to press the feet into the ground, press the tailbone down, tighten the core just like we did earlier. This time we're going to suck our shoulders onto our back, press our hands into the ground. Our hands and our feet are not going to lift. We're going to inhale, lift the head, lift the shoulder. If this feels okay, bring just the hands up. And then if you're still feeling strong, we're going to engage the glutes. We're going to lift the feet. This is locust pose. And if you're thinking, I fucking hate this, bring the hands back by the chest, elbows up to the sky for a modified locust. And we're going to exhale, release. Right cheek to the mat, looking to the left. How was that one for you?
That was good.
Nice. We'll center our chin on the mat. We'll bring our hands by our chest. And then nice and easy, we're going to push ourselves back to a child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together, torso settling between thighs and forehead resting on the mat. Just giving the back permission to round forward. This should feel so yummy. We'll take about 5 slow breaths right here. I'm beginning to slow our practice down from this point.
Oh, I feel all the lower back here.
It's just totally releasing or what?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. This is another one of those poses. So if there's 3 poses that I could give to people with lower back problems, I think it would be child's pose, for relaxing, chair pose for building strength, and then ragdoll for lengthening.
Ooh, what's ragdoll?
We'll find it right now, okay? Let's slowly walk our way up to a tabletop. Nice. Keep your hand or your wrist beneath your shoulders, but walk your knees about 3 inches behind your hips. So my shoulders stay above my wrists, but my knees come behind my hips. So I'm no longer in a tabletop. I'm more like a push-up with my knees down. From here, yeah, look, no, keep your knees down. Yeah, look, that looks beautiful. Yeah. We're going to round your spine like cat pose. Tuck your chin. Tuck your toes underneath you so they're pointing towards your knees. Keep your spine round. Keep your chin tucked. Hover your knees off the ground 3 inches. Maybe you walk the toes a little closer towards the knees. Round your spine more. Pull feet towards hands, hands towards feet. You should feel your core firing up here. And with an exhale, we're going to lift the hips, downward dog. Yeah. This is our first and only downward dog today. I like to recommend fingertips spread wide, index finger pointing forward, palms pressing into the ground. All 10 toes point forward. The feet are separated about hip width distance. I recommend a gentle lifting of the heels and bending of the knees as you melt your chest closer towards your thighs. Then, if your spine can stay long, you can begin to straighten legs, pressing heels towards the ground. Now let's bend our knees a generous amount and walk your hands back to your feet. Yeah. Once you arrive at the back of your mat, make sure your feet are separated at least hip width distance, if not a little bit wider. Give your knees a generous bend so your stomach can rest completely between your thighs, and then grab opposite elbows. Let your head hang heavy. This is ragdoll. Now in ragdoll, the biggest thing here is to acknowledge that we're not working on stretching the hamstrings. We're working on softening the torso forward so the spine and the neck can get a little length and break here.
How bent are my knees supposed to be?
As much as feels good to let your torso soften between your thighs. I would straighten them a little bit more because you're more in a squat right now. There you go. Nice.
Always just fun.
Yeah. And then while you're here, you can sway side to side, kind of like you're doing. You can shake your head yes and no. My best advice for you in this shape is that as you inhale, imagine your breath moving to your lower back. And as you exhale, let the breath go. Let the whole torso hang a little bit heavier. And then as you're ready, release hands to the ground. And slowly crawl your way forward, top of a push-up. Nice. And then knees to the ground. Nice. We're going to sit back on our calves for just a moment. We're setting up for a toe crusher. Now, toe crusher sounds mean because it is kind of mean. We're going to bring all 10 toes underneath us. I like to do this from a squat. That's easier for me, but it's up to you. Okay. All 10 toes point straight forward. My feet are together. My heels are together. Oh. Yeah. Now, I'm going to bring my knees as close together as I can, and I'm going to slowly lower my knees down to the ground. Now, your pinky toe is going to try to sneak out from underneath you, so reach back and get your pinky toes to point forward.
I'm not sure I'm doing it right.
I'm looking. Nope. Now bring your knees to the ground now in front of you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yep. Now reach underneath you and get your pinky toe to point straight forward. Yeah, it's going to try to sneak out from you.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, this is an intense pose. We're used to our shoes putting our toes like this, right? So now we're stretching them out the opposite direction. This isn't an area we stretch very often. So if this is a lot for you, keep your hands on the ground in front of you and round your spine. If you're like, Jessica, this is feeling easy, I can do more than this. Bring your hands to your knees, but keep your spine round.
So
now if you're, yep, exactly. Now, if you're thinking, I still want more sensation, sit up tall. Nice. Now tuck your tailbone slightly, and then bring your hands to heart center. 3 slow breaths here.
I like that one.
Yes, we connect to that long inhale. Slow exhale. We have one more big breath in. Let's gently release hands back to the knees and then to the ground. Down to the ground, yeah. And you'll untuck your toes, tap out the top of your feet. Oh, yeah. Nice. From here, let's sit back on our calves, swing our legs off to either side, and come to a comfortable seat with each other. Nice. Let's bring the bottom of our feet to the ground, toes pointing forward. Let's cross our right ankle over our left knee. Yeah. Now flex your right toes towards your right kneecap.
Okay.
Bring your hands to the ground behind your hips, and then puff up your chest. Nice. Now press your right knee towards the camera.
Ooh. All at the big glutes.
This is, and like I said, this is a big reason why we have lower back pain for a lot of us is hips and hamstrings and glutes. So this kind of moves into that space. If you're looking for more sensation, you can walk your left foot closer to your left glute. But if you do that, make sure you don't lose integrity in the spine. You're still pressing into the hands, lifting the chest, pressing that right knee forward. We'll take 3 more breaths right here, just a figure 4 pose. And as you're ready, we straighten our left leg out. We're going to bring our right leg down next to it, and we'll just tap out the knees. And when you're ready, we're just switching sides. That right foot comes down to the ground. Our left ankle crosses over our right knee, excuse me. Hands come by the chest. And now when you're crossing that ankle over that knee, there's a sweet spot between the heel and the ankle that's almost like a little hook. And you just place your knee right in that little spot, hands by the behind the back, chest puffing up.
Like here? You want like my heel
Yep.
on my knee?
Yep. Yep. Right there. Perfect. Now flex your toes towards your kneecap. Yeah. Puff up the chest and press your knee towards me. Yeah. Give it about 3 more big breaths here. So which side is tighter for you then? Your left?
Ooh, honestly, usually my left side is more flexible. But I feel today like maybe my left hip is a little tense, more tense.
So it's interesting you say that because my left split is definitely more beautiful than my right split, but my left hip is 1,000 times tighter. So those are interesting observations to make. And as you're ready, we're going to bring that right leg straight. We're going to unwind that left leg. We're going to tap it out a little bit. And we're going to set up, we're going to come onto our back. Slowly come down to our forearms, then on to the back. We'll set up for a happy baby pose and a twist. Then Shavasana, and we're done. Sound good?
Sounds great.
We didn't get to our chair pose, but I enjoyed a lot of the other stuff we got to. So next time we're going to do that chair pose, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to bring the knees into the chest. We're going to make a prayer shape with our hands above our face. Then we're going to bring that prayer shape in between our legs. Whew. There's a metaphor there somewhere, I'm sure. Then we're going to bring our arms are staying inside of our knees, but we're going to grab for the outside edges of our feet. Nice. Now from here, press your tailbone into the ground, suck your shoulders back. Now keep your knees wide. We're going to take just our right leg first, and we're going to lift the bottom of our right foot up to the sky so our right heel is in line with our right knee. Yeah, gorgeous. Don't bend that knee though. Keep that knee nice. Yep, keep it nice and bent. Perfect. Now you're going to press the bottom of your right foot up towards the sky while you simultaneously pull down with your right arm. Now, you're going to keep everything the same, but you're going to bring your bottom of your left foot up to the sky. So your left heel is in line with your left knee. Now, if those knees stay bent, I'm grabbing for the outside edge, the pinky toe edges of these feet. So real quick, grab for the other edge of your foot. Yep, there you go. Now bend your knees a little bit more so your heels are above your knees. No, bend the knees more. There you go. Now, press your tailbone into the floor. Nice. Now pull your shoulders back. Now gaze stays towards the sky.
Okay.
How's this feeling so far? Pretty good?
Yeah, this is good. It's like good in my back. Like
Good.
I haven't felt it like this doing Happy Baby before. It's nice.
Well, a big thing for a lot of people in Happy Baby that doesn't get discussed is our tailbone lifts and our shoulders lift. So we're really just balancing on this mid part of our back, which is actually really bad for us, especially strippers, because we do it so often at work anyways. So instead, we have to think about getting the entire spine on the back from the tailbone all the way to the space at the base of your neck. And then from there, we bring the knees wide and we focus on that inner stretch in the legs.
That makes
Now,
sense.
I want to take this a little bit deeper because I know you can, okay? Now, your left leg is not going to move at all. You're going to keep it exactly where it is. You're going to keep a hold of your right foot. You're going to begin to extend your right leg out towards the camera, towards me. Whoo.
Wait a second.
Here, wait, watch me. It doesn't have to be towards me exactly. Yeah, okay, sorry, I was looking at the wrong leg. So, I look like this. I'm going to slowly begin to extend my right leg out to the right. You'll start to feel this in that hamstring. Then we're going to gently bring the right leg back in, up towards the sky. We're going to extend the left leg long. Now we're extending towards the camera. There we go. Yeah. Then we're going to slowly bring it back in. Now we're going to switch our hands. We're reaching for the inside edges of our feet now. And then we're going to press into our feet, both legs press back. Keep pressing that tailbone down though. We're straightening the legs now.
Oh, we're straight.
Yeah, there it is. We all know this pose. So
it's called the money shot.
So the other name for Happy Baby is actually Welcome Home Sailor, and I love it so much.
That's amazing.
So we'll bend the knees again, and then let's gently bring them back into the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, bring your forehead towards your knees, and just for a moment, let's create the most compact ball possible with our body. Squeezing everything towards our belly button, and then our belly button towards our spine. Let's take a big inhale, squeeze. And then exhale, let your legs go long. The heels come as wide as the mat.
Ooh, I just cracked. So
I did too. That's so funny. Heels are going to go as wide as the mat. Arms can rest gently on the body or down at the sides, palms facing up in a receiving gesture. We're going to soften the eyes closed. We're going to relax the jaw. We're going to let the shoulders melt back towards the ground and the belly muscles, pelvic muscles release and relax. Our arms and legs are heavy. Our feet and toes just fall to the sides. We're going to take one more smooth inhale. And we're going to let it all go. Melting to the ground for our final pose of the day. Shavasana. And as you're ready, we begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. We roll out the wrists and the ankles. Eventually, we bring arms up and over the head for a big fingertip to toe Thursday afternoon stretch. Before pulling knees to the chest and rolling to our left. Our left arm is a pillow under our head. Our right arm comes to the ground in front of us. Pausing in a familiar fetal shape for just a moment. And as you're ready, we're going to press into the hands, make our way up to a seat. If your eyes open on the journey up, no big deal. We can close them down again when we arrive. Meeting each other facing forward in a tall seat. I invite you to bring hands to heart center, a sign of gratitude in our practice. And for just a moment, just as we began,
I invite you to notice what's happening inside of your body. And as you do, acknowledge the places you've created space, both physically and mentally. We bring our thumb tips to forehead center. We end with a word that means there is a universal energy that dwells within us. At the source of this energy, we are one. And together we bow. Namaste.
Namaste.
Mm.
It's going to cut us, kick